Okay.
Pretty
Are
insane.
you ready? We're going?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay, when somebody points at you and goes and pulls a trigger, it usually means you're live.
Gamehound listeners, I'm Nick Denicola here at PAX at the Supergiant Games booth with,
Darren Korb. I'm the audio director for Supergiant Games.
and you're showing off.
Transistor.
Okay, so Supergiant Games is known for Bastion, and this is your really anticipated follow-up. What can you tell us about it? What is Transistor about?
Well, it's a science fiction action RPG from the same people that brought you Bastion. So it's the entire team that worked on Bastion is working on this game. This game, we wanted to do something a little bit more tactical with the combat. So we have a kind of a turn-based mode where you can kind of pause it, plan out all your actions, and then see them unfold in real time afterwards.
So, in the demo we get to play, you play as this woman named Red, I assume, I think that's her name, and she picks up a sword, and the sword starts talking to her. So what's going on there?
Well, it's something that we're going to explain a little later on, but basically this is a weapon that was sort of used in an assassination attempt against her, and it kind of slipped free in the commotion. She managed to get it, and now she's using sort of the enemy's like ultimate weapon against them, and they want it back real bad, so they're pursuing her. And so, yeah, there's a lot of mysterious properties that this thing has that we're going to reveal a little bit more as the game goes on.
So, with this new turn-based combat, it's a very different feel from Bastion. What was it like making that transition from a combat system that's very fast-paced and very much about precision to something completely on the opposite side of combat spectrum?
Sure. Well, we wanted to keep some of the immediacy of the real-time combat, so we do have that in there. You can fight in real time if you want, and that is available. And for some situations, that's appropriate, if you want to do that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the people on the team are really big fans of real-time of turn-based strategy games. Actually, like huge. I mean, a lot of us just kind of play a lot of that stuff all the time. So we figured, doing something more strategic was something that would kind of scratch that itch for a lot of us. And really, the way we decide what we want to do is just kind of all the preoccupations of the people working on it. What we all like and what we're all thinking about, and so that's kind of where we went this time.
So in the demo, you get about 4 different powers, and when you pause time, you can use any of those 4 powers to, attack. Is that all we're going to get, or are we going to get more?
There'll definitely be more powers, yeah, as you go along. Yeah.
Will we only be able to use 4 at a time?
Not certain yet. We're still kind of working on that.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. Another thing that really stands out about Transistor is the tone. It has a very somber but very beautiful tone. It seems very mournful. Again, looks beautiful, like the music and the art. How much effort do you put into those things?
A lot. I mean, basically, so I do all the music for the game, and I'm doing it full time. So I do that and sound effects, and yeah, I'm full time with Supergiant. So, and Jen Z is our art director, and we just picked up another artist who does our 3D modeling and animation and stuff. And yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of time on it. It's that's really important to us, and we think that because we have such a small team, we're able to have kind of a creative conversation between all the different disciplines, because we just have like a couple people doing the art. I'm just doing the music, so I can make something that'll the artist can listen to, and then they are influenced by that, and then I can see what they do, and I'm influenced by that, and so it's kind of a symbiotic relationship there.
Yeah, I was actually really fortunate that we ended up speaking with you, because all of our listeners know I am a gigantic soundwalk. It's the nature of me being married to a gigantic soundwalk. And I was really, really captivated about how immediately, as soon as you put that headset on, that you are immersed in this world. And that when things speak to you, like your sword, the sword speaks to you, instead of questioning where does that voice come from, where does it come from, why is it there, you don't question it. It's just, it drags you in, puts you exactly in a specific time, place, and mood. And I just think that is really the job of good sound design, is to put you there so that the story can deliver what it needs to. I just wanted to say a little bit of like fan gushing about that. Was the first thing I noticed was I put those headset on. I was like, wow, this is right. This is the way that a sound design should be built. Thank
you so much. That's a really great compliment, because that's kind of the whole idea is just to aid in the immersion. reinforce the tone, give people information when you need to give them information, feedback. Yeah.
Okay, well, I have a geeky music question. Bastion had, kind of twangy Western soundtrack that really infused the whole style of that game. What were you going for with the style of Transistor?
Yeah, this game, I wanted to approach it from a more electronic angle to some degree, but I also wanted to incorporate some kind of old world European elements to kind of reflect the vintagey kind of architecture, the Art Nouveau kind of art style that we have in this one. And everything from like that to post-rock and a lot of stuff in between. So, yeah, this is going to be like a different, hopefully eclectic, but pretty different set of stuff in this game, I think.
And I think, because again, there's a lot of mystery with the story here, but I think Red used to be a singer. And is that going to influence the soundtrack in any way?
Yeah, it definitely will. Yeah, I mean, in this demo that we're showing, we have 2 songs with lyrics and vocals and everything in this section that we're showing here. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an important part of the soundtrack.
About how long has this been in development?
About a year. Some of us, have had to kind of work on other projects just for supporting Bastion. In the meantime, we did a Bastion iPad, and that took some time. But yeah, about a year on and off.
And do you know what consoles or what platforms this is coming out on?
We don't know any of that information just yet. So, yeah.
Do we have a date? I'm assuming a roundabout date?
Early 2014 is what we're, shooting for.
It's sort of funny because usually when you see demos for games that are that far out, they don't really seem quite as polished as this. And that's one thing that you are getting a lot of attention for, is this is about as polished a demo as I've seen for a game that we're looking, almost a year out.
Yeah, I mean, that's great to hear. We definitely wanted to make this as polished as possible to show people. I mean, it's a very small slice of the game, but we wanted to polish it up to, production quality so that people could kind of get an idea what we're going for.
Sometimes at PAX, especially when you have a lot of people putting their hands, granted it's a demo, so it's kind of closed in and closed down about what you can do. But frequently when you get a lot of people putting their hands on a game that is so much in development, you'll see people doing things you weren't expecting them to do. Absolutely. Have you seen any of that in the last 3 days?
Yeah, no, it's always really informative. We'll see people doing things, and we'll think, oh yeah, that makes me think of a new power we want to do, and I'll listen to the mix in this setting, and I'll think, oh, I want to reduce the treble on this thing,
So you're even hearing it from a soundwonk point of view. It's like, oh yeah, that's not quite right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's the best way to learn about your game is to have other people play it and watch them play it and see what happens. So yeah, we definitely a very informative experience for us always. Yeah.
And you have been one of the big talks about everybody saying, oh yeah, go see Transistor. So you've seen a lot of people touch it. You've obviously had a lot of feedback. What is the most surprising bit of feedback that you've received from someone about the game so far?
I mean, just how positive the response has been overall really is just...
Really? You didn't know that it was going to be that positive?
Honestly, we had no idea. We were kind of biting our nails. We didn't know. I mean, it is a really pleasant surprise. I'll just put it that way. It's fantastic. I'm really thrilled with the response so far, and let's just hope we can deliver on the excitement now at this point.
So when you go back to work I'm assuming they're going to put you to work on Tuesday. They aren't going to make you work Monday. When you go back to work on Tuesday, what's the first thing that you're going to have to be on your desk and need to do, other than check email? That's the next thing that you need to work on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to collect a lot of my notes that I've gotten together over PAX, and kind of address some of that stuff with the mix and some things I've been hearing and things like that, and just start on more music and things like that, more sound effects, all that stuff. Yeah.
Do you have an idea of how long it's going to be, the gameplay?
We don't know yet.
Good. I like that answer.
We have no idea.
Tell me as long as it is.
Right. Long as it's exactly as long as it needs to be, and not a second more.
Exactly.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Yeah, no problem.
And once again, Transistor, we're looking for it at the beginning of 2014, and it is, as far as I'm concerned, a well-deserved sister to Bastion. Right, Nick?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Oh, yep, absolutely.
And once again, we have locked up in the Spreaker, so it won't... Hi, guys! We can't get rid of the speaker feed. It won't stop! It won't stop!